Tonight on CTV News at 6, the density debate heats up again at City Hall.
Please exert some self-control.
Edmontonians demand their say about infill as council tries to push toward a summer break. The Oilers extend their star blue liner to keep him in Edmonton for an extra 4 years.
There's a drop back for Bouchard, and he scores!
And
I want to do more than just bobbing my head. You know, I want to groove.
why this Sherwood Park man has been dancing roadside for years and how a stop by police changed his outlook.
Heat warning in effect with daytime highs near 30 for Canada Day and Wednesday.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Kent Morrison.
A frustrating and confusing experience at City Hall today for Edmontonians upset about infill. Council's final public hearing before the summer break has a packed agenda, and some public speakers came to take part in a conversation that might not happen. CTV's Jeremy Thompson explains.
On a beautiful summer day before Canada Day, about 100 Edmontonians squeeze into City Hall, eager to share their feelings with council on the infill they say is harming their neighborhoods.
This is not gentle densification or building the missing middle. This is densification gone wrong.
It's been a year and a half since the citywide zoning overhaul kicked in, its most impactful change allowing 8 units on virtually any residential lot.
The destruction we see every day when we look out our window or drive down the street is causing us severe emotions. We are sad, we are anxious, stressed, and at times angry, and you don't seem to care.
Monday's public hearing is a zoning check-in, an opportunity to make changes based on lessons learned from the past 18 months. But the agenda contains 32 items. Only a few are about the zoning change.
Should I be speaking later, or can I speak now?
Well, you can
It was a confusing process for all of us.
We've split this thing into a discussion at the beginning of the meeting and a discussion at the end of the meeting, and the meeting is 2 12-hour days long, and people don't know if they should be here at the beginning or here at the end, and when is the end. It's an absolute mess.
Councillor Michael Jan says the confusion is partly his colleague's fault. Tim Cartmel promised a pause on infill as he runs for mayor.
I think, quite frankly, people were misled today. They thought they were coming to see a moratorium debate, and that's not happening.
Jans calls the proposed pause reckless and illegal. He believes in incremental change to infill rules.
Where there are issues, we are fixing them. We are taking action. We are being responsive to community.
The public hearing is scheduled to last all evening and all day Thursday. Likely not enough time to get through all 32 items. After that, council is on summer break until mid-August. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Now, Councillor Tim Cartmel plans to make his infill moratorium motion during this meeting at some point. City lawyers will have to weigh in on its legality. Alberta's Premier is pushing back on a court injunction preventing the province from banning gender-affirming care for minors. Bill 26 restricts access to gender-affirming hormone therapy for people under the age of 16. The ban had not yet started, and now legally it can't. A judge ruled young patients would have faced irreparable harm if she didn't issue a temporary injunction. That means Alberta youth using puberty blockers and hormone therapy can continue. During her weekly radio show, Premier Danielle Smith says she believes the judge made an error.
I feel there'll be irreparable harm to children that get sterilized at the age of 10 years old. And so we want those kids to have their day in court. We want those who were counseled to have sex change operations prematurely, who now feel like they weren't protected, to be able to be witnesses so that we don't make these kinds of mistakes.
Healthcare professionals have previously pointed out that sex reassignment surgery is not being performed on minors in Alberta, with the exception of top surgery in rare cases. Those opposed to the legislation say this is a victory for trans youth and human rights. Elections Alberta has approved an application for a petition to have Alberta declare an official policy to remain in Canada. Former Progressive Conservative Cabinet Minister Thomas Lukaszuk is behind the petition. He says he wants to stop the push by Alberta separatists for a referendum on leaving Canada. The province is lowering the threshold for provincial referendum from 600,000 signatures to 177,000. That takes effect Friday. Lukasik calls the move dangerous. He says it opens the door to any number of potential referendum questions, including some that might backfire on Danielle Smith's government. Lukasik will still need to collect 600,000 signatures for his petition. Smith has said that Alberta wants to stay in Canada, but says the ball is in the court of the federal government. And we now know the finish line for federal Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre's next political race. The date has been set for an upcoming Alberta by-election where he will be looking for a return to the House of Commons. CTV's Colton Prail has the details.
It's been exactly 9 weeks since election night when Pierre Poilievre stood in this building and told his supporters he would never give up fighting for them. But 24 hours later, it was clear if he wanted to continue that fight, he'd need a new seat in the House of Commons. Now we know when he might get it. In the wake of his election win, Mark Carney promised no political games around by-elections that could return Pierre Poilievre to the House of Commons, and sooner than required under election law. Today, the Prime Minister announced the vote in the Alberta riding of Battle River-Crowfoot will take place Monday, August 18th, before parliamentarians return to the House of Commons in September. The riding in southern Alberta on the border of Saskatchewan is a Conservative stronghold.
Well, he has to run somewhere, and of course this riding is probably the most secure riding.
The area we're in is very Conservative, so it's probably better that it stays that way.
Damien Couric held the riding since 2019 before resigning his position earlier this month to give Poilievre a chance to win, and the chance is strong. Couric won the riding with nearly 83% of the vote and more than 46,000 ballots ahead of the second-place Liberal candidate. The Liberals have said Darcy Spady will run against Pierre Poilievre, and he'll be far from alone. The group behind a protest that led to 91 candidates running in his Carleton riding last time around say they're planning for an even bigger slate of candidates in the upcoming Alberta by-election. Colton Prail, CTV News, Ottawa.
A traffic stop in Fox Lake led to the discovery of more than 100 bottles of vodka. Over the weekend, RCMP stopped a truck with a license plate that did not match the vehicle. Officers then discovered that the plate belonged to a dead person and the driver did not have a license. The vehicle was seized and searched. RCMP say 2 large duffel bags with 124 bottles of unopened Red Tassel vodka were found. The street value of the alcohol is just under $10,000. The driver was issued 3 tickets. Another woman has been attacked by a bobcat in Calgary. This latest attack happened Sunday afternoon. The woman told police she spotted a bobcat kitten while she was out with her dog. The adult bobcat attacked her, leaving her with scratches. Last week, a different woman in the same neighborhood was attacked while she was also walking her dog. Fish and wildlife officers responded in both cases. They say they tried to trap the bobcat and her kittens, but were unsuccessful. Officers say they will continue to monitor the situation. The Matart Conservatory is showcasing mini makes from local artists. Artwork from miniature enthusiasts of Edmonton now on display as part of the new Imagination exhibition. 40 artists creating the smaller-than-life artwork. It includes more than 1,000 miniature plants. The president of the club says any artist can apply their skills to miniatures.
Anything that you could do in real size, you could do in miniature. Like, for instance, if you're into doing pottery, you could make tiny little pots. Or if you crochet or knit, you could do it tiny. Painting's tiny.
The itty-bitty displays will be featured until the end of September. Well, the city and communities in the capital region are getting ready to celebrate tomorrow. Canada Day means food, fun, family events, and of course, fireworks. Nav Sanga has more on what you can expect.
These fireworks are only a small sample of what will be used on Canada Day for the Edmonton Fireworks Show tomorrow night.
This fireworks show is one of the largest shows in Western Canada. It's certainly the largest show that's happening in Alberta this year.
Tens of thousands of people will be gathering on the Alberta Legislature grounds and other parts of downtown to watch the display over Edmonton's River Valley.
It's a big, large, traditional fireworks show, which means there's no music to it. Could be watched in the round, so anywhere where you can see the River Valley, you can come see the show.
With the Canada Day celebrations comes major road closures in the city's core that start just before 10 p.m.
We have some closures on Queenie Park Road, as well as Walterdale, as well as River Valley Road.
We don't need the added stress of trying to scramble to get to somewhere, so just leave really early.
Communities like Beaumont, Sherwood Park, and St. Albert also have fireworks shows planned. Millwoods Park will host its annual Canada Day celebrations from 2 until 11 p.m. There will be food trucks, cultural dances, live music, and activities for the kids.
There's a train ride, there's lots of bounce fun. Hope City is providing a bunch of carnival-type games.
It's an opportunity for people to enjoy the festivities, but also celebrate Canada and what it means to them.
Canada Day means independence, hope for the future for everybody.
You know, sometimes you might not feel it because we might not all look alike, but I think in our hearts we all know, we're Canadian and we should be proud of that.
Edmonton transit buses and trains will be operating on Saturday or Sunday schedules. Nav Sanga, CTV News, Edmonton.
Of course, as many get ready to celebrate the holiday, Josh, a lot of eyes on the forecast, looking pretty good.
Hot for sure for the next 2 days. Heat warnings in effect. The risk of thunderstorms is there, although it's a pretty slight risk overnight tonight and even late tomorrow. It's only about a 30-40% chance. I think Wednesday afternoon has sort of the best chance in the next couple of days to see some storms in the Edmonton area. Nothing for this evening. We get to 26 degrees for a daytime high. We're actually back to 26 now. We dropped to 25 at 5 p.m. Mid-20s right across the Edmonton area, so a couple degrees above average and a couple degrees cooler than we'll be tomorrow. We'll be around 29 or 30 for highs tomorrow and Wednesday. Start of the day at 15 degrees, and again tomorrow morning for the next couple of mornings will be in the mid-teens, so not a lot of relief from the heat through the overnight periods. Blue skies. You look through the live lens of the CTV drone right now. That is a spectacular shot of the city. It would be nice if that's what it looked like tomorrow, right around fireworks time. Well, I guess it'll be slightly darker. I think we're probably going to have a little extra cloud cover, though, late in the day tomorrow in through the Edmonton area. And as we mentioned right off the top, a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm. Had some showers and thunderstorms up around Fort McMurray and north of Fort McMurray earlier today. That's all off into Saskatchewan now. And there have been some lightning strikes coming off the foothills. I think a lot of that action is going to slide south of Edmonton. But even here in the city, overnight tonight, midnight-ish, you might see a shower or thunderstorm. There's the heat warning in effect for all the areas in pink. Highs near 30 or into the low 30s for the next couple of days. There's your next 24 hours. That slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm around midnight. Sunny with a few clouds for the bulk of the day tomorrow. Hot with a high of 29. And then we'll show you that risk of a shower or thunderstorm for tomorrow evening, a little later in the newscast.
All right. Thank you, Josh. Well, after the break, the Oilers have locked up their top defenseman and a pair of key forwards, plus
the opportunity that we've given a lot of kids to experience a once-in-a-lifetime event.
North America's next generation of hockey stars take to the ice in Edmonton. We'll take you to West Edmonton Mall for the start of the annual Brick Tournament. Plus,
this facility seats 9,000, but it wasn't really built to handle the crowd of 9,000, so it's a good challenge for us.
Inside the preparations for the Edmonton Riverhawks' biggest ball game of the year.
Brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
The Edmonton Oilers have locked up star defenseman Evan Bouchard for an additional 4 years. The new deal is worth $42 million over those 4 years. That's an average of $10.5 million per season. Bouchard had 1 year left on his contract and was to become a restricted free agent tomorrow. The 25-year-old had 14 goals and 67 points while playing in all 82 regular season games for the Oilers last season. He added 23 points in the playoffs. The team has also re-signed a pair of depth forwards. Kasperi Kapanen is returning on a 1-year deal. The 10-year NHL vet will make $1.3 million next season. The team also signed former U of A Golden Bear Noah Philp to a two-way deal. NHL free agency begins tomorrow at 10 in the morning. The Oilers are expected to be after a top 6 winger. Well, some of the best 9- and 10-year-old hockey players in North America are back at the Ice Palace in West Edmonton Mall. The annual Brick Invitational Hockey Tournament started today, an event that has hosted a number of future pros. Our Miriam Valdez-Carletti is live from the Ice Palace for us this evening. So, Miriam, Team Alberta was on the ice earlier this afternoon. It was rocking then. How's the atmosphere now?
Yeah, Kent, the Ice Palace is super busy right now. This is just a small taste of what's been going on all afternoon. Right now on the ice, we have the Toronto Bulldogs and the Western Selects, and it's the first day of the tournament, and dozens of players, parents, and shoppers all riled up, cheering for their home teams. The tournament has been a tradition at West Edmonton Mall since 1990. Teams are coming from all over North America to be here, and some notable players that have played on this ice include Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Austin Matthews, and Mitch Marner. Several games are being played each day until the teams fight their way to the semi and quarterfinals, and the chair says that this tournament is a highlight for many of the 9- and 10-year-olds.
I think that's the thing the committee is most proud of, is the opportunity that we've given a lot of kids to experience a once-in-a-lifetime event, and it truly is. There are a lot of other tournaments that they'll go to in their life, but when they're interviewed later on, this one comes up quite a bit.
Awards will be given out to the players, and the chair says that a beach party is being held Saturday so players can celebrate regardless if they won or lost. And the tournament runs until Sunday, and before the final, there is going to be an all-star game of sorts where the best players, between the Canadian team and the Americans will face off on Sunday. So here's a bit of some of that action and a couple days worth of hockey if anyone wants to come out to the West Edmonton Mall. Kent?
Thank you. It's going to be a lot of good times at West Edmonton Mall. Thank you, Miriam. Team Alberta with a win earlier this afternoon, by the way. Well, Edmonton came up just short in the Western Women's Canadian Football League. The Saskatoon Valkyries capturing their 5th straight championship title after defeating Edmonton's Arctic Pride. The Arctic Pride clinching the Western Conference title in just their first season in the league. The team is led by head coach Marcus Henry, a former Elks wide receiver. The Western Women's Canadian Football League features 6 teams from across the prairies. Well, for many Edmontonians, taking in a baseball game is a Canada Day tradition. The Edmonton Riverhawks are aware of the expectation, and they've been working for months to prepare for a Canada Day game to remember for a sold-out crowd. CTV's Connor Hogg got a look behind the scenes.
All hands on deck at Remax Field as the Riverhawks prepare for their biggest game of the year.
Everything kind of gets bumped up a level.
I guess with no hockey anymore, just something to do.
A sellout means more than 9,000 fans will converge here at once. There's a buzz in the air everywhere around the field.
I was here last year, and it was sold out crowd, and we put up 16 runs, and it was really special. Everyone doing their jobs on the field, behind the scenes, everything. It's pretty cool.
The Riverhawks will wear Canadian tuxedo jean jerseys for the Canada Day game. The jerseys not made of actual denim. Welcome news for players and other team brass who will be out in the heat.
I mean, this is your natural habitat, I imagine. So it's quite, you know, you're quite used to it.
The added pressure, not just for those out on the field. More people means more food is needed.
We've got enough prepped for when the doors open, and that we can put it out fast enough so that people don't miss the whole game waiting for food.
Keeping the flow of people moving, whether they're in line for snacks or just to get in through the doors.
Well, it's definitely a challenge, but we get better each year.
Once people get to their seats, the pressure is on the production crew, who react live to what's happening on the field and in the stands.
It's an emotional day, and it's an emotional job, and I think it's getting the best emotions out of people. That is what makes it good for me. All the players are counting down the days to Canada Day, always checking how many tickets are sold, and we know it's going to be a big game, so we got to perform.
What does it feel like to be able to stand here and look at all the fans up there and, you know, see well, not right now, but it's very exciting, right?
I couldn't have said it better myself. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
That's going to be a big one at the ballpark tomorrow. Well, the Canada Strong Pass is proving popular in Alberta parks.
It actually helps us bring the family here, explore the nature, and it's amazing.
With summer holidays underway, Edmontonians are flocking to Elk Island with plans to use free access to head elsewhere in the province.
This definitely won't be our only federal park this summer. I'm hoping to go to Jasper and Banff as well.
What to expect and how to take advantage, coming up.
Heat in full effect for the next couple of days with highs near 30, and almost every single day for the rest of the week, there's at least a risk of a late-day thunderstorm. Full forecast right after the break.
Programming brought to you by Century Casino. 3 great locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile. To you by Federated Co-ops. Find your summer sweepstakes. Unlock your chances to win at your local co-op.
Well, this is the first full weekend since the Canada Strong holiday pass, or pardon me, the Canada Strong was introduced. Among other things, the pass offers free entry into national parks and historic sites for the summer. As CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti reports, some people are embracing the opportunity to explore places they've never been before.
Spending Canada Day weekend at Elk Island National Park is a special time for Sagar Mehta and his family. When they heard about the Canada Strong Pass, they knew they wanted to spend time outdoors.
And because we have the Canada Pass, the Canada Strong Pass, it actually helps us bring the family here, explore the nature, and it's amazing, and the weather is beautiful, so we are enjoying it.
Introduced by Ottawa, the Canada Strong Pass includes free admission into national parks until September 2nd and 25% off camping fees. Mata's brother and brother-in-law recently moved to Alberta and plan to take advantage.
We are planning to visit pretty much all the parks, as many parks as possible for this summer.
This definitely won't be our only federal park this summer. I'm hoping to go to Jasper and Banff as well. It's really a great program. I'm very happy to use it.
And so are the dozens of people in their cars lined up to get into Elk Island. The beach at Astotan Lake filled with tents, barbecues, and games.
I expected it to kind of have a busy lineup, but it's actually not too bad. It's not crowded. I wouldn't say it's crowded.
You don't need a physical or virtual pass to access savings. Just show up.
It's a great way for Canada as a whole to promote parks and enjoy wildlife and bonding with families.
It's free, and I say, oh, nice, it's free. $25 for 2 cars is $50. It's kind of a meal, right? So it's a good news.
There's lots to enjoy at the park besides the free entry.
All the fun animals and the bisons.
The pass also includes free admission and discounts for national museums and via rail. Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
Certainly a beautiful last couple of days to get out and enjoy those parks, but you got to be careful with this heat.
Yeah, heat warning in effect for tomorrow and again on Wednesday, so stay hydrated as you're outside over the next couple of days. Daytime highs near 30. And a good amount of sunshine as well, so your UV index is going to be on the high end of things. Action Furnace River Valley Skycams brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free. We're at 26 degrees, sunny with a few thin clouds out there right now. 26, 27 across the northeast today, mid-20s in western and northwestern Alberta, and almost everybody will be 3 to 6 degrees warmer tomorrow. There's your heat warning. Cold Lake, Lac La Biche, all the way south to the international border, and from around Evansburg all the way east to the Saskatchewan border, although it's still going to be pretty hot and into the upper 20s there in through the mountain parks for daytime highs. You're not included in the warning because your overnight lows are going to be a little bit cooler, so you will get a little bit of relief overnight, which isn't necessarily the case in eastern parts of the province. There were your showers in northeastern Alberta. You can see they're all off in Saskatchewan now. You get a couple thunderstorms going right now, one north of Highway 16 and one way off to the west of the Rocky Mountain House region. I think all of this activity here will, as it tracks east, northeast stay south of Edmonton. We'll see what happens with a couple of these scattered showers. Nothing expected through this evening in the Edmonton area. Further south, you might see a little thunderstorm there around Pigeon Lake or the Red Deer region mid-evening. I think if we're going to get anything at all, and it's an outside chance, it would be overnight tonight, so around midnight or into the early morning hours of tomorrow. Then sunny with a few clouds in Edmonton tomorrow morning. Get some showers across the northeast in the morning. This is where most of the action will be through the late afternoon and evening hours, is right along this Highway 16 corridor, and it's not going to be hitting everybody, but there will be hit and miss showers and thunderstorms in through that region late afternoon, into the evening hours, and possibly even into the overnight period for a couple of spots. So it's not going to be nonstop thunderstorm activity, but chances there late in the day tomorrow. Make sure you have a chance or an ability to check on your severe thunderstorm watches and warnings through tomorrow afternoon, as there will likely be some advisories that pop up. Same goes for Wednesday. In fact, this might even be a better chance Wednesday for us here in Edmonton. Around supper time, around the Edmonton area and off into the northwest. Chance for some potentially severe thunderstorms, not only late tomorrow, but late Wednesday. Large hail, some powerful wind gusts off a couple of those storms. So it's going to be active latter stages of the day for the next several days. 26 in Fort McMurray, 25 in Grand Prairie right now. Mid-20s from Edmonton south towards Red Deer. We'll see temperatures overnight tonight drop to about 15 degrees. Again, it's a slight risk around midnight tonight for a shower or thunderstorm. I think dry for most, if not all, of this evening, and dry for most of the day tomorrow. And then you get into the late afternoon, early evening hours, and after hitting a high of 29, there's a chance of a shower or thunderstorm in the region. 30 on Wednesday. Look at that morning low on Wednesday, 17 degrees. Late day showers and thunderstorms Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Temperatures pull back into the low 20s for daytime highs at the end of this week, but we're near 30 tomorrow and Wednesday, and right back into that 30-degree range middle of next week.
All right, thank you, Josh. Well, still ahead, aggression in the classroom.
Different groups and different individuals have different perspectives as to what should be done.
The province with a look at keeping students and teachers safe, plus...
It's very simple. Prime Minister Carney in Canada caved.
The different ways Ottawa and the White House are framing a jumpstart to trade negotiations.
Programming brought to you by Century Casino. 3 great locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile. Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
The Alberta government is creating a team to develop ways to address violence and behavioral issues in schools, but some say it's a bureaucratic move that doesn't guarantee action. CTV's Jacqueline Wilson reports.
School may be out for the summer, but class is in for a team of 20 education system officials and teachers to brainstorm solutions for the growing number of behavioral issues in schools.
This new action team is part of a broader strategy to reduce disruption in the classroom, strengthen mental health and behavioral supports, and ensure that our schools remain inclusive and safe learning spaces.
The team members haven't been finalized, but they will deliver a report this fall with the hope new policies could be rolling out right away. Minister Nicolaides didn't attach a dollar figure to the group or say if a classroom size count would be done.
We have to look at the resources that we have within the government as well, funding, budget allocations, and determine a path forward that can really work for everybody.
The lack of action is frustrating for mom and student advocate Wing Lee.
Is confusing because it seems like a make-work project when they need to kick in urgent solutions. We need more resources. We know why classrooms are large. We know why there's overly complex classrooms. We don't have resources in the public education system.
According to Statistics Canada, Alberta has the lowest funding per student at about $11,500 compared to the national average of almost $13,700.
More teachers in the one classroom is not enough for the special kids and the normal kids together because the teacher works so hard.
Bigger classrooms, less kids per class. So I'm hearing there's average like 35, 40 kids per class and per teacher. So just worried about the education and the amount of time per child that's allotted.
Earlier this this month, members of the Alberta Teachers Association voted in favor of strike action. They're negotiating with the province over wages and classroom sizes. Jacqueline Wilson, CTV News, Calgary.
Some Albertans will start to see the effect of the new personal income tax rate tomorrow. As part of a budget promise, the province introduced a new personal income tax bracket of 8% on the first $60,000 of income. Previously, the lowest tax bracket was 10%. The province says this change could save some Albertans up to $750 in 2025. The change is retroactive to January 1st, but kicks in tomorrow. The federal government's promised income tax cut is also kicking in tomorrow. The tax rate will drop from 15% to 14.5% on the first $57,375 of Canadians' taxable income this year. Next year, it will drop down to 14%. The government says nearly 22 million Canadians are expected to benefit. It projects there will be $27 billion in tax savings for Canadians over 5 years. Well, just one day after U.S. President Donald Trump abruptly halted trade talks with Canada, negotiations are back on. Ottawa decided to drop the controversial digital service tax just hours before it was due to take effect. CTV's Mike LeCouture has more.
Prime Minister Mark Carney says discussions between Canada and the U.S. restarted this morning after a call with President Donald Trump last night. But the way the Americans are framing it is very different.
It's very simple. Prime Minister Carney in Canada caved.
A blunt assessment of how it all played out from the White House. The two leaders spoke late last night, and then Canada announced it was rescinding the digital services tax. Carney said removing it was part of a bigger negotiation.
It doesn't make sense to collect tax from people and then remit them back, so it provides some certainty.
The DST was intended to collect tax from big tech companies that make money off Canadian users but don't pay Canadian taxes. Carney says the two sides will now work towards negotiating a full trade deal by July 21st.
The White House says you caved. Is that how it went down?
The Prime Minister wouldn't answer that, but the Canadian Chamber of Commerce applauds the move, pointing to the bigger picture negotiation.
$3.6 billion worth of trade crosses our border every single day with the United States. We can't afford to play with that. We need to make sure we secure that.
Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre believes Carney should have got something in return. Writing on X, in exchange, the Prime Minister should insist that the U.S. immediately rescind softwood lumber tariffs, adding, we need to make gains for our workers in these talks.
They forced the U.S.'s hand.
Michael Geist specializes in internet and e-commerce law. He says Canada needs smarter tech regulation than to just make web giants pay up.
We've too often looked at these companies as akin to almost like a policy ATM, where we're anxious to do withdrawals to help fund some of our policy objectives, but we haven't really factored in the costs associated with this and some of the potential negative consequences that might come about.
Now, rescinding the DST would require an act of Parliament, but the Prime Minister's office says instead of recalling the House, the government will simply stop collecting the tax until they can remove it altogether. Mike LeCouture, CTV News, Ottawa.
The U.S. Senate is set for a marathon voting session as Republicans try to push through the president's controversial legislation known as the Big Beautiful Bill.
Senate Republicans have to decide: choose the American people or bow down to Donald Trump and his coterie of billionaires.
Senators will vote on a series of amendments to the original spending bill. Democrats oppose the more than 900-page document, which contains tax breaks for the rich while making cuts to medical care. The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office warns nearly 12 million Americans will lose medical insurance by 2034 if this bill becomes law. It also warns that the country's deficit will increase by $3.3 trillion over the next decade. And there's been a setback on the first day of jury deliberations in the sex trafficking trial of disgraced media mogul Sean Diddy Combs. There were a flurry of notes from the 12-member jury. One of them was about concerns over a juror not following instructions. Another note asked for clarification on the part of the instructions addressing drug distribution, an allegation included in Combs' racketeering conspiracy charge. The judge issued his own note to the jurors stating that deliberations will continue tomorrow, where he and the lawyers will also answer their questions. Combs is charged with sex trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Combs pleaded not guilty to all 5 counts. Palestinian health officials say at least 74 people were killed by Israeli strikes in Gaza today. One of the deadly attacks hit at the Seaside Cafe near Gaza City. The Israeli Defense Forces say they are looking into the strike. They also say they are investigating recent incidents of Palestinian civilians harmed at aid distribution centers. The United Nations says 400 people have been killed seeking aid since the blockade was lifted May 19th. And a heat wave is gripping parts of Europe, with temperatures in some countries climbing higher than 40 degrees Celsius. A new record was set for June over the weekend in southwestern Spain, with temperatures reaching highs of 46 degrees near the Portugal border. There's a number of red heat warnings across the continent in all parts of Portugal, Italy, and Croatia. Amber heat alerts are in place in countries including the UK, France, and Austria. Well, still ahead, sharing the blame for travel turbulence.
Understand that when you sell something, you should be able to fly it.
Advocates point the finger at airlines as Canadian airports face critical control tower shortages. Plus, they call it the greatest outdoor show on earth. And it kicks off in Calgary this week. What you need to know is coming up. Taking a look at today's markets, the Canadian dollar traded for 73 cents to the American dollar. Oil down 41 cents, ending the day at $65.11 U.S. a barrel. Gold gaining $20 on the day. The TSX closing higher, gaining 164 points, while the Dow Jones was up 275 points. Well, Health Canada has issued a nationwide recall of certain models of Anchor power banks. The recalled products pose a fire hazard. The models include the Anchor Power Bank model number A1647, Anchor Zolo Power Bank model number A1681, and Anchor Zolo Power Bank model number A1689. The lithium-ion batteries in these recalled power banks may overheat and pose a fire risk. And Health Canada is also recalling children's sleeping bags. It's advising people immediately to stop using the Deuter MicroStar children's sleeping bags due to a potential suffocation hazard. These sleeping bags come in blue, green, and amber maple colors. 70 of the products were sold in Canada between April and May of this year. If you have one of the affected sleeping bags, Health Canada says you should return it to the seller. Canadian athletic brand Lululemon has filed a lawsuit against Costco. Lululemon is accusing the wholesaler of selling knockoffs of some of its most popular items. The lawsuit, filed in a California court, alleges Costco is selling dupes of Lululemon scuba hoodies and sweatshirts. It also alleges Costco is selling jackets and pants that are Lululemon knockoffs. Costco has yet to file a response. Well, peak summer travel has not taken off the way thousands of people planned. A lack of air traffic controllers leading to canceled flights at Vancouver International Airport. CTV's Andrew Johnson has more on the travel turbulence and what passengers should expect for the rest of the summer.
There were more than 200 flights delayed and 20 canceled on Saturday and Sunday alone here at Canada's second busiest airport. One of the most hectic weekends of the summer gone sideways. The issue is a staffing shortage at NAV Canada, the country's air traffic control agency. YVR says it has no control over the issue, that's been a problem for months, and that it shares passengers' frustration. WestJet is calling the delays unacceptable. Long weekend travelers we spoke to today are arriving prepared.
The best thing I try to do is just stay in a good mood, okay? Because you don't know when you'll arrive. Hopefully, I'm glad I got here before dinner time.
The staffing shortage was first identified as a problem after the pandemic when travel rebounded. NavCan says it's doing everything it can to beef up staffing, but there is no quick fix. It says there are 500 people in the air traffic services training programs right now across the country, but the path to full qualification restoration takes 24 to 36 months. One expert says NavCan shouldn't be taking all the blame. He's also pointing the finger at Canadian airports and the airlines.
The airlines are basically pointing the finger at NavCan to say, we need more staff. Well, no kidding. We know that we need more staff. But in the meantime, we can only handle so many airplanes. The question is, understand that when you sell something, you should be able to fly it.
The good news in the short term is YVR says today everything is running smoothly and NavCan appears to be fully staffed. But experts warn if you're traveling this summer, especially on long weekends, you should expect potential delays.
Fluoride is being reintroduced into Calgary's drinking water today after more than a decade without. The city says adding fluoride back into the drinking water is safe and effective as a public health measure. It says data shows it improves oral health and helps prevent cavities, especially in children. The city of Calgary spent just over $28 million upgrading infrastructure. It's going to cost $1 million annually for operating and maintenance at both water treatment plants. During a 2021 plebiscite, 62% of Calgary voters were in support of reintroducing fluoride. And the Calgary Stampede officially kicks off on Friday with the parade. Canadian singer Shania Twain is the parade marshal this year. It has more than 110 entries, as well as 35 floats and more than 700 horses. The parade starts just before 9 and shuts down big sections of the downtown. The Calgary Stampede runs until July 13th. Well, still ahead, roadside entertainment.
I want to dance to make a change in someone's life.
The motivating moves of a Sherwood Park man on his longboard and what happened when he met police.
We've got another great night of entertainment coming up right here on CTV, starting at 7 with programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
A Sherwood Park man who has been entertaining drivers on his longboard has caught the attention of local police. CTV's Merrick DeCash has more on what motivates his moves and how officers responded.
I got some pop, got some house, techno, EDM, drum and bass.
Caden Skelton has been dancing on his longboard almost every day for 2 years.
During the winter, I was out here. I was maybe missing like 2 or 3 days a week. During the summer last year, I was out here. I only missed like a day every week.
He dances on the corner of Baseline Road and Sherwood Drive. In June of 2023, his life flashed before his eyes.
Board flew up, head smacked on the ground, basal skull fracture, nearly severed my carotid artery, blew my right eardrum, severe moderate brain injury. There we go.
Less than a month later, Caden was back on his board, this time with a helmet on and tunes blaring in his ear.
People started talking about me on Facebook groups, saying how much I helped them or their kid with something, you know, they're going through something, and just seeing my joy and my smile, you know, and my energy, and it just brought a smile to their face.
One of the many people Caden has made smile is Constable Corey Kornicki.
As I do my patrols through Sherwood Park here, I see him all the time on the corner, and you can't just not smile when you see him.
One day, Kornicki and his partner pulled up at the intersection with an Oilers jersey in hand, a gift for Caden.
Caden's out on the corner, dancing, just making so many people smile. I don't think he even realizes how many people he makes happy.
His first Oilers jersey and a new outfit for game day.
Because that Officer Kornicki, he gave me that jersey, it has really solidified my trust in the police here in Sherwood Park.
Skelton says he is in for the long haul and will certainly still be moving when the Oilers start again next season. Merrick DeCash, CTV News, Sherwood Park.
Maybe dancing in the heat over the next couple of days. 15 degrees tomorrow morning. It's a slight risk around midnight tonight. You might see an isolated shower or thunderstorm in the Edmonton area. I think probably all of the city stays dry tonight. We'll see what happens late tomorrow. Around supper time and into the evening hours, there is a chance of a shower or thunderstorm. It's going to be a hot one, though. Sunny with some afternoon clouds up to 29, 30 on Wednesday. And then around supper time Wednesday, could see some storms roll through. We're back into the low 20s for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So if that 30-degree heat is too much for you, it's only 2 days, and then you get a bit of a break because we're back to around average to close the week. Looks like that heat's coming back next week, but short-lived for this week.
Looks like fireworks either way tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. Either Mother Nature or natural.
Either way.
Or man-made.
Enjoy your holiday, no matter what, everybody.
See ya. My brain's already on holidays.